Howdy, Fi Guys. I honestly hesitated before writing this because I didn't want to sound like another hopeless case. But I've listened to your podcast long enough to know that you don't shy away from the messy middle of people's financial lives. I'm knee deep in it. No, scratch that. I am drowning. My husband and I get a life. We're going to need a life raft. um, my husband and I have never really been financially comfortable. We've always just made enough to get by. Paycheck to paycheck isn't even the right words. It's more like paycheck to 3 days before the next paycheck. We've managed like this barely for years. But this year broke us. It started with my husband's medical emergency out of nowhere, hence the emergency part. He needed specialized equipment that cost us hundreds that we didn't really have. Insurance didn't cover it, of course. And then a few months later, I was told that I needed surgery. Not optional, not a cosmetic butt lift, a life threatening mandatory surgery. And while I'm still in recovery, I haven't been able to take on any work or any side work. It feels like life just decided to put us both in chokehold at the exact same time. We've racked up credit card debt. We've racked up credit cards we swore we'd never open. We've even taken out payday advances that feel like financial quicksand. I've sold furniture, old clothes, anything of value we had, but it's just not enough. Nothing is. Every time I think I've got a plan to get us ahead by even 1 week, something else hits. A bounced charge, a random bank fee, a bill we thought we had covered, and suddenly posts again. Just yesterday, I checked my account expecting to see over $100 left after our phone bill. Instead, we were negative $250. The bank insists that everything is correct on their end, but the worst part is, that because of the overdraft, we can't even access our payday advance, which we have to be within $100 of zero to unlock. And right now, we need at least 150 to qualify for that very tool just to rely on to survive. I cannot stop crying, not because I'm weak, but because I'm exhausted, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I've cried during every single payday for the last 4 months. It's like financial PTSD with every direct deposit triggered dread instead of relief. We've owed hundreds this week alone, and I've already borrowed from family with a promise to pay them back with our tax refund. But tax season feels like a lifetime away, and we still have to survive November. What hurts most is the shame. It feels like I've done everything I'm supposed to do: sell stuff, downsize, cut bills, borrow only when desperate, and still, it's not enough. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to fight with my husband about gas money or skip meals so our dog can eat. But that's where we're at. If there's any if there's anything you can offer, advice, a shift in perspective, even a moment of hope, I'll take it. I'm writing to you not just for guidance, but because I'm hoping that if someone else is going through this too, maybe they'll feel a little less alone hearing my story. Thanks for reading this. I wish I had some better news to share, but now this is my truth. From bills are due, hope is few, what can we do? Oh,
Jesus
we've
Christ.
we've had some bad ones in the past, but this one, I don't know, this one hurts.
Yeah.
This one definitely hurts. This one breaks my heart a little bit. They've been steered wrong their whole life, and now it's time to put them on the right course. But where do we start, Chris?
Man, I don't know if we're going to be able to really fix their financial issues in a Five Friday feedback viewer mailbag.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to talk about quite a few things here. The first thing I want to talk about is I love our country. I love living in America. I'm so glad that my grandparents immigrated here. And there are things about this, like the fact that medical debt somebody having the audacity to get sick is the leading cause of people going into bankruptcy. And these people have it. It sounds like the husband had something and then the wife had something, and that was the thing that pushed them over the edge. Just a few weeks ago, my wife and I, we have health insurance, and she went for her normal checkup and we got a $500 bill in the mail. We have good health insurance. And when we called the health insurance, because we thought this must be a mistake, they said, oh no, we cover your checkup, but we don't cover blood work. So thankfully we had the $500 to be able to pay that bill after trying to negotiate, after trying to do all the things that we know how to do. And I couldn't imagine how bad it would be if we didn't have that money. This is what happens when a system is fundamentally broken. And we can't fix it here on this podcast. But we're trying to help this person to at least give them some hope, to show them that they're not alone and that they're not crazy and they're not anything. So first off, to our listener, I want to let you know that you're not weak. Using that word is so beyond disempowering. You're not crazy. And most importantly, you are not lazy. And you're not alone. You're not alone in this. There are many people right now who are going through this. They just don't have the bravery or the knowledge to reach out for help. So the pain that you're in, it's real and it's extremely valid. What you're feeling, your exhaustion, your shame, the panic, the anxiety, that's exactly what happens when the system that we have fails regular, hardworking people like you. Fails you for having the audacity to get injured. Fails you for having the audacity to get sick for some reason. How dare you? And of course, I'm being as facetious as I possibly can because it's bullshit that we live in a place that can happen, where we've put profits over people time and time again. And now we're kind of in the fourth turning. We're in this place where people are getting fed up because you're in survival mode, not in failure mode. When your nervous system is as shot and as stressed with every single decision, it feels like a crisis. And when you're in this crisis, this place that you're in right now, it's impossible to think strategically. You're not bad at money. You're in a state where strategy isn't even accessible to you. To Dominic and I, because we're not in the situation, we can see a path through, but you're the one that has to go through it. Because at this point, to you, to our listener, your situation isn't a math problem anymore. It's an emotional freaking war zone. I mean, it sounds to me like you're fighting fires just to try to survive. And when you're fighting fires, just trying to survive, when you're face down the muzzle, just focused on one thing, you're not planning anymore. And that's okay for right now. The first step isn't budgeting. It's about stabilizing your nervous system and your environment just enough to take a breath, to get out of the fog for a moment, to be able to detach, as Jocko Willink would say, just to be able to get some breathing room to go ahead and stop and see what it is that I need to do. So with that being said, you need to stop beating yourself up for what you quote unquote should have done. Regret is just burning energy that you need to take action. You've made smart and hard choices. It sounds like you've sold items. You've borrowed within a plan. You've hustled through recovery to try to get there. And that's survival. That's grit. That survival is important. And that survival you can only stay in for so long before your body starts to break down and we have bigger issues. Right now, your only job is to regain some control over your next 7 days. If your next 7 days sounds too big, control over your next day, over your next hour. Forget about the mountain of debt. Forget about the rest of the month. What do you need to survive until your next paycheck? We need to break this giant chasm that we're looking into, this giant monster of, I don't know, a rock creature into little pebbles. What can we do to take a little bit out of this at a time? Because it sounds like your advances in your overdraft situation, it's a freaking trap. It's not a tool. So we need to start planning for your exit strategy now, because it sounds like you've already been doing it. Even if that takes 2 months, 6 months, a year, we can help you figure out how. But just know, no one gets rich on payday advance systems. It's designed to keep you stuck. I understand why you used it, because you needed to, but I don't know how long you've been doing that for. So we need to get out of that trap, because it sounds to me like you're trying to solve a structural issue with emotional effort. And that's just not sustainable. At some point, you're going to need to either make more income or a radical pause on the outflows. And the outflows means anything that money is going out. If that means that we have to do a hardship withdrawal program, deferment, or even legal assistance, bankruptcy, we need to do something to either bring more money in or spend less money out. Because right now, where you're at is it's effed. And it's F for reasons that sounds to me like it's not your fault. I know you said you were living paycheck to paycheck before for a long time. So maybe there could have been something you could have done in the past, but it doesn't matter. We don't have access to that anymore. All we can do is something we can do today to make progress. And I'm sorry that you had the medical issues that pushed you over the edge, and just know that you're not alone for that. So to our listener, have you looked into nonprofit credit counseling to consolidate your high interest debt into one single low payment? Have you looked for community hardship grants or mutual aid groups, especially for post-surgery? Have you tried calling your creditors and actually asked them for any way to pause or for hardship deferment? And hardship is HARDSHIP. That's the words that you need to use when you're talking about financial hardship, when you're talking about with your creditors of ways to do things. Another thing you can always do is reach out to local churches or organizations with emergency financial aid, not loans. I think too many people, when they get stuck in this situation, they're just so stuck, eyes down the barrel of I have to take care of this debt, I have to take care of this debt. And there are so many systems out there that are meant to help people in this situation. Unfortunately, we don't advertise them and people don't know about them. So you need to be the person to be your own advocate, to go out there and look to find places to help you. And if you can't find a place to help you, you need to be willing to know that you're worth negotiating for yourself. Call your creditors, ask for help. The worst thing they can tell you is no. They're not going to double your debt just because you asked for something. I don't know how long this is going to take you to get out of. I hope it's fast, but unfortunately, there's nothing that Dominic and I can say today that's going to get you from where you are to where you want to go quickly. Long term, and I know that this is going to sound shitty for me to say this, long term, when you look back on this in 10, 20 years, this will make you a freaking financial badass. Not today, not tomorrow, but one day, you'll look back and realize that this season, this tough, shitty season that you survived, put the kind of pressure on you that would break most people. And the pain that you're going through one day, the pain you're going through right now will be your superpower. So in the short term, let's just help create just a simple triage plan. You know, when you come up on a medical scene and there's a bunch of things, you need a triage. Who can we save? I think it was green, orange, red.
Yeah.
We need to just find all the things green. So we need to prioritize our food, our shelter, and our meds. Everything else can wait. Your health is the most important things, those basic needs. I need you to get enough cash flow. If that means side hustles, that means work, if that means whatever we possibly can to regain some access to those payday advances. I don't want you to lean on them for a long time, but you need to have access to that to at least survive. And then I want you to use that moment to set up a 1-day buffer, then a 2-day buffer, and then a 3-day buffer, and then a week-long buffer. We just keep on growing it slowly over time. Eventually, once you're back at zero, don't aim for wealth. Aim for boring stability, not luxury. Once we get to boring stability, then we can reach for generational wealth, for all of the things that you want. But right now, I don't want you to put the goal so far out of reach that you don't even try to attain it. And most importantly, I want you to keep reaching out. You can always go to chris@monsonwealth.com. You can always ask for more help. I'll do as much as I possibly can for you. And if I can't help you, I'll point you in the right directions. Don't go quietly. Write us back. You don't need to have all the answers right now. Just stay in the conversation. You're not alone. You're not alone in any way, shape, or form. And this is not permanent. This doesn't have to be permanent if you take actions every single day. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but big hugs from Arizona, big hugs from California. We know you can make it through. We believe in you. And this is just the way that it is, and you're going to make it through one step at a time. There's people out there that want to help. You just have to seek them out, like you did here today. Dominic, what do you think?
Same.
Ditto.
Took the words out of my mouth. No, I sometimes on your mailbags, I can kind of give my 2 cents and offer some good advice. But this one was pretty deep. This one was a little bit hairy. I don't think there's anything I can say that you haven't already said. That's why, it's the student and the master. I'm the student, you're the master, right? Um, but I think you're right. I think it's important to frame it in the right framework and remember that you'll look back on this time and when you're out of the storm and you're in good place now, and you'll say, I wouldn't want to go through that again, but I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened for what became of it, right? For what it did to me, for what it turned me into. It turned me into a fiscally responsible, emotionally hardened human being that can take on any task. And as long as you look at the situation like that, I think you're going to make it out of it, right? But understand that, you know, this too shall pass. But it takes action. Things don't pass by themselves. You have to take action. And I hope what Chris was saying here inspired you to take action and take control and take back your life.
And that's sometimes the hardest things from Dom's and our perspective is that we can't do it for you. Like, you have to be the hero of your own story. There's sometimes we'll get comments where it's like, well, I was hoping that you would tell me the secrets to doing it. And the secret is there is no secret. Sometimes all the Dominic can do is just encourage you to get back up on the horse, to try again. Because there's nothing we can do that's going to fix this person's problem in a second. They have to go on that journey, and all we can do is be a guide to help them keep on walking down that path. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I wanted the secret to my debt payoff, there is no secret. We're going to help to fix the mindset, because the mindset is the thing that's going to keep you walking down the path. We told you all the tips and the tricks, and that's all we can do. We can't do it for anybody else.
This video podcast is sponsored by Mons on Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor. It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monsonwealth.com.